Really had to talk about stuff.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 334 for December 12th, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another one of your hosts, Trevor.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
Yay!
Well
We
done.
did it. It
Well
was
done,
all
everyone.
The Slacker and the replacement for the Slacker still aren't here.
Just
Yeah,
a
what happened?
Slamfire Radio logo. He said he
We've
just got
never-
home.
okay. Hi.
Oh, that's a damn problem. You know, if I could have one Christmas wish, maybe like a Christmas miracle, perhaps that scrawny bugger McClatchy could join us for the Christmas show. Wouldn't that be, a
That'd
treat
nice.
for the listeners? Yeah. To have the host who scored the lowest in listener support during the survey come on as a Christmas gift to
Well,
them.
that's because he's never on. He
Think
scored
that
the
would be-
lowest because people are saying he's never on.
No, I think it's when he comes on that he ends up scoring low is what happens.
Oh, everybody
Both.
loves him when he does come on.
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
They love him till he's on, and then they trash him in the comments. Not really, but-
No, not really.
Listen, just because you were like in first place for like 30 seconds doesn't mean you get to get
Hey,
all.
hey. We
Yes?
were all in first place for like 30 seconds, and then Adriel, he pulled it out in the end.
I asked my mom and my auntie and my uncle
Stop it.
and
I'm not commenting on how Adriel finished.
people from work.
That was all you. You hired some of those robots in China to come do the skew the results.
Yeah, I coded some bots. Yeah.
There you go. I just wanted to remind everyone that we actually had a survey once, and you got to pick your favorite listener, and it wasn't me.
Listener.
Host.
The host, favorite host.
Yeah.
They should pick their favorite listener
We
next
should
time.
actually pick our favorite listeners.
Huh.
Yeah, flip the script.
Yeah. How would
Ah,
you
now
just say,
we judge you this time.
"Yeah." I'm not judgy. You're the judgy one.
I'm totally judgy,
Hmm.
which is ironic because I am really in no position to judge anyone. Look at me.
You've been losing weight.
yeah,
Can
you
judge
have.
some people.
You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah, like that guy that called me fat once on
In your
GOC.
face.
Yeah, because I actually met him at a match, and I'm smaller than he is now. So
And you got
Now
I may
he's
still be
saying-
thank
dumb,
him for
but I
calling
got
you fat too.
But now he's saying you need to go buy new clothes because you look like a homeless person.
no. That was the guys at the NEC meeting. They're like, Trevor, it's about time to start buying new clothes. You look like you arrived in Toronto and they lost your bag and you had to borrow your buddy's clothes. Like, come on. So yeah, and I mean, I'm wearing my Kui shirt that Freshnet Crane gave me, Jeremy, and
Jeremy.
it's like a moo on me. It's
It's very
extra large
comfortable.
is it's very comfortable. Yeah, loose fitting. There's a reason why I'm wearing this shirt tonight, but we'll get to that later when we do the thing with the guns.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder.
Mm. Mhm. What could it be?
Yeah. All right. What we did with guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. They got guns and stuff, so go check out their website.
Anything exciting?
No,
Oh, I
no,
forgot.
no, they don't.
Stop it. Of course there's something exciting. There's always something exciting in the Calgary Shooting Center.
Hi, Jeff.
There is a hate-filled thread on CGN. Oh my
What's
god.
It happens.
Somebody-
All retailers, once in a while, someone has a bad experience, and everyone piles on.
Oh
what?
man,
People
are they?
need to get over themselves. I'm just saying.
Kelly, you're not wrong. Somebody said that very thing. There's a bunch of entitled prima donnas in here that need to dust off their tiaras,
Okay, so what? Millennials?
I guess.
No, no.
But
Okay.
here's what's
You guys
important
need
about
to get
the
over
Calgary.
yourselves.
Here's what you're right. Here's what's super exciting about the Calgary Shooting Center this week.
Yes.
The Tavor 7 in 308 is in stock and ready to ship.
Sweet.
Ooh.
$3,000. You get it black, FDE, which is means flat dark earth, which means beige, and OD green, which is olive drab green, which means
Which is
green.
green.
Could the world stop making up names for things we already have names for?
I like that. I like
Man
that they all have
and
three-letter acronyms,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, because it makes it sound cool.
You got FDE,
No, it's
ODG,
more tactical.
and you don't have to say green. You can say ODG.
Or stealth gray,
Mm.
because everything is stealth gray now. That's the new color, right? Well, it's not stealth gray; it's gray. Although
So these
Stealth
pretty cool.
these came in. These finally came in. Like, remember I was telling you guys that I handled this rifle a year ago at the North Silva show, and they were supposed to come in. And the North Silva show just happened again at the end of November, beginning of December, and boom, they're in for real. So at the North Silva show, they must have already had some on the shelves there. So if you're looking for a Tavor to match your 9mm Tavor and your 223 Tavor, you want the 308 Tavor, then don't be a communist. Go to the Calgary Shooting Center, drop
Buy a Tavor?
drop $3,000 and buy yourself the ultimate 308 bullpup. Yeah, get some.
Hi, Jeff.
All right, Trevor, did you want to tell us what you did in guns this week?
Lots and lots and lots of reloading. So I have some rifles that I need to develop loads for. So I went for the Howa in 22-250 and the Howa in 223. With the 223, I'm working with a Spear 70 grain soft point bullet. It has a ridiculous ogive. It's basically shaped like the end of a mop handle. I don't like it at all. I had to shorten them and shorten them and shorten them. Even though I'm using this Hornady overall length gauge, which I'm not really convinced works. I'm not super excited about how. Anyway, some bullets, if you go, it really. Here's what I've learned about the Hornady overall length gauge. The idea of this, if the listeners aren't familiar, is you take a case that's been drilled and tapped in the bottom, and you screw it onto this gauge, and you put a bullet into the case. The case is the same. It's semi-spec, but the neck is opened up a little bit so the bullet can slide in and out easily. And you put this tool into the chamber of your firearm, and you push a plastic dowel from the back that contacts the bullet, and it jams the bullet into the rifling. You lock the dowel down, you pull it out, and then you use the comparator tools that measure off the ogive to determine the actual overall length of your chamber. And then you back the bullet up by, start at 2,000.
Did you read the instructions?
Yes, and I also watched the video.
There's a spot you have to do a pentagram with the salt around.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's why it's not working. And I'm not wearing my goat skins either.
Oh God.
Didn't read it. Didn't read it properly.
No, well, I guess I didn't get the satanic version of this tool. Perhaps I didn't. It didn't come with that. My instructions had nothing to do with worship
Find out
of
why it's not working.
Possibly, because there is some witchcraft involved here. There's no doubt about it. But anyway, with this bullet, I couldn't I kept getting shorter and shorter to get it to stop touching the lands. Finally, I just went with the cartridge overall length. Cartridge overall length is from the back of the head stamp where the primer is to the tip of the bullet, and it's not as consistent a measurement as going off the ogive. So that's why I got this tool, but I'm not really liking the tool. Anyway, what I've done for both my Howa 223 and my Howa 22-250 is look up the minimum charge, and I've started in half grain increments from the minimum charge all the way to the maximum charge. And then so there was that got done, and then I had to case gauge my match ammo for sight. Now, I was using a Dillon case gauge, which apparently has got some pretty slack tolerances because I had ammo. I had a stoppage in the last match with my new red back, and it was a failure to feed. I mean, it has a matched chamber, so it's a little tighter than, say, a 1911 chamber, which will eat everything. So I had to order a hundo. The hundo is you can do 100 at a time instead of one, and the tolerances are tighter, so it will reject more, and you get more practice ammo and better match ammo. I decided to use my chamber. The bullets were going in and hitting the rifling right away. So the problem that I could have had at the last match was not that the brass wasn't fully resized or a burr or something. It could be that the cartridge was actually too long for the chamber in this red back.
Is the bullet ogive hitting the rifling?
Yep.
It happens all the time. Like with my Shadow, I need to make sure that the bullets are seated pretty deep, and I can't run some bullets. Some bullets they're not an option.
Yeah. One bullet you can't run is the 125 grain X metal.
Yep.
You can't get it short enough.
Yep.
I've learned that the hard way. Other people have too. So the 124 is a much more forgiving ogive in that bullet than the 125. The 125 is like the shape of your head right now, very bulbous, round.
Really?
Well, he put his head down, and it just reminded me of a 125 grain bullet, light shining off it, stuff. So anyway, so I shortened a bunch of ammo, and I've got like 1,000 rounds loaded that I'm going to just put through the press again. I've adjusted the sizing die to shorten them up, so I'm going to make them all or shorter. Hopefully it's not going to put the power factor up by too much, because when you shorten your bullet, you reduce the internal volume, so the same amount of gas now has less space to occupy, and you get more pressure. And then Wednesday, I had to chair the gun club meeting because Muffin was away on training or something. And I told him when I sat down, and the house was full. December, right? Everybody wants to renew in December. And so I welcomed everybody for coming. I said, Jason's away. I'll be chairing the meeting tonight, which means it'll either be really fast or really long. You just never know which way I'm going to go depending on the mood that I'm in. And it was really fast. We were in and out of there in 30 minutes.
Sweet.
Did you push through anything did you have an agenda that you actually had that you wanted to push through?
We always have a published agenda. And,
no, I know, but no, it's like the world of Trevor and his kingdom.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah, maybe, I may have taken control of things and made sure that things moved along in a timely and efficient manner. There was no time for lollygagging or side conversations. If it wasn't on the agenda, it didn't get entertained very long, except for the new business item. And then one guy was like, and I mean, I'm being joking here. I'm not being disrespectful to this guy, but he goes, "Yeah, did you hear anything about them gun bans you're talking about?" I'm like, "Yes, I have the internet."
Oh,
yeah,
poor little guy.
No, he's a good guy. He's not little either. So,
well, yeah. If he was in the U.S., we'd say bless him.
Yeah,
bless your heart.
Bless him.
Bless your heart. Yeah, You're absolutely right, Kelly. That would be perfect. And then the team that I usually work with for SummerSlam, with the exception of Muffin, we all booked her over to my school, and we met to discuss the current state of the range, what needs to be done to prepare for the events next year, and the most important two of the most important things happening next year are SummerSlam and the range recertification.
Oh, really?
So we started to discuss how problematic it would be to work on the range to get it recertified while building stages for matches, and then have the CFO show up to inspect the range while SummerSlam construction is going on. And all of that is hindered by the fact that SummerSlam did not get taken down or put away last year. Yeah.
Really?
So we came to the consent.
The snow came too soon, or what?
Well, a lot of people were burnt out, Kelly. And
yeah, I know. You guys are busy.
I didn't go back on the range once after the match. And that's not true. I went to the range for an ORPS match, and I spotted some vandalism from where we were, and I inspected the range after the ORPS match to determine how much vandalism was done, and that was the only time I was on the pistol section since the end of SummerSlam.
Just need like a front end loader and a dump truck, and just start scooping stuff up and throwing it in the dump truck.
We will actually, well, we're not obviously going to do that with our equipment, but there is a bunch. There's a garbage pit or a garbage pile that has started at the back of the range. This is no good anymore. Drag it to the back. This is no good anymore. Drag it to the muzzle. The best thing to do with that now is just there's been talk. We should as a kiss of death. Adriel will, Kelly will, Trevor will. That's all stuff.
Kelly is not doing nothing.
As an example, Kelly, don't tell us. When you say we should or someone should, no, you need to assign a task to a name.
You're absolutely right.
And we're really bad at that. So a lot of things that we should do, guess what? They didn't get done because there is no we, right? So anyway, we got a lot of stuff to do. We first have to pick everything up and put everything away. And then we've got to get, some contractors in to rebuild backstops and berms, and we have to cut trees and we have to pick up rocks. And so anyway, the team decided that it wasn't feasible to do everything that had to be done and host SummerSlam while preparing for an inspection. So we have, unfortunately, with much regret, canceled SummerSlam 14 for 2020. Mm-hmm. But that just means that the Nationals held in 2021 will be even more gooder, and the range will look prim and proper and perfect. So when the inspection expires, our certification expires at the end of August, I would love to have the CFO in June and at the end of June. And I understand what is required to have your range pass inspection, your berms, for 25 meters out have to be 4 meters high, and in New Brunswick they have to be between 35 and 40 degrees. You know that going in. Don't let the contractor leave until everything is done, because they come in, they measure stuff, and it either is 4 meters or it isn't. It either is 35 to 40 degrees or it isn't, and if it's not, it's on you, not them. So my goal is to have everything perfect when he arrives, so there are no problems. He never has to come back for 5 years, and then we'll start holding matches. Possibly, I might even put a bid in for the provincials, because I will have time to get the provincials built, but probably not. I don't think I wanna. We'll see. So, because I'm going to nationals, and I think what I would rather do actually after nationals, rather than go home and start building a level 3 match for the provincials, I think I'd rather go shoot gophers in the face with Adriel.
Where's the nationals next year?
It's in Barrie, Ontario. So I and Muffin will be camping out at Casa de Bolivar.
The Bolivar.
Yeah. So
I might even come and see you if you tell me when you're coming. I know
right.
when you're in nationals, so it'll be nationals.
Yeah. So it's the long weekend of August. That's when it ends.
Next year, this year or next year?
20. I'm hosting 21.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So I will touch base many times so you don't forget like you did last time I was in Toronto.
Did not forget.
Okay. I now
You never told me until the day of. Like, seriously, who doesn't say anything until the day of? Trevor? Trevor? I broke him.
Yeah.
No, you didn't break me.
Oh.
Why am I gone?
Oh, you're back.
I'm
You were
back.
just sitting there with a silly
You
look on
had
your
that
face.
face. Yeah, this.
You don't give yourself that much credit, Toots. You didn't break the internet or me.
Toots?
Anyway, yeah, Toots. So then, so after that, we decided to talk about the nationals, and we looked at some of the documents that came to us from the NEC, the budget, and there's also the hosting package that's being developed. So it's like, all right, you want the nationals? Great. We need this, and this by these dates.
Right.
And this is, and I mean, that's excellent, because basically it's a checklist for us. So I'm really appreciative that document's being worked on.
Hey.
And yes.
Can you actually, before we go much further, can you explain what an ogive is? Dan Grady just wanted to know, because you were talking about it.
All right. Ogive is the name given to the shape of the bullet, where it starts to curve towards the tip. It's that basically.
So ogive bullets are the pointy ones.
No, that's not what I said. That's not. Why are you doing that to poor Dan? That's not even. Close.
Half of my contributions here are
derail.
Talking trash.
Right, I forgot. I forgot. Yeah, my bad.
That's what I help with.
Yeah, so it's the point of the bullet where the curve starts. You've got it, it's straight when it's in the neck, and then it starts to curve towards the tip. It's that curve, that angle there. That's what the ogive is. So much more gooder place.
Specifically, the thing that's important with that is the spot where it hits the rifling at the back there. So some of them have like an ogive where that's quite a bit further back. Some of them have it where it's quite a bit further forward. If you have one that's far forward on a pistol bullet, you're gonna have problems getting it in a Shadow 2 or a red back or something like that, because they have a tighter chamber.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're taking measurements, you're taking it from the ogive.
Those Spear 70 grainers, I was hoping they would be awesome, because my Howa bolt gun, the mini action that I got, is a 1 in 8 twist rate barrel. So that means it's going to stabilize heavy bullets better than, my Thompson Center Venture Predator has a 1 in 12. So that thing loves 45, and that's about it, 45 grain bullets. So anyway, these Spear bullets are cheap, but I don't like the ogive for getting the length up close to the rifling. So, and then I did some work in the gun room. The gun room has been what has the gun room been? What's the word I'm looking for? It's
a mess.
Well, yeah. Well, there was some clutter, so I've cleared up some of the clutter. So that's good, Kelly. You're right. But the back, so there's so many walls in a room, typically 4. And originally, this room was designed to have guns hanging on one wall, and then I put up a pistol shelf, and directly across from the pistol shelf, the contractor who built the room had leftover pieces of slot board, and he jigsaw puzzled them together at the wall directly opposite the handguns, and it aesthetically looked cheap because you could tell that it was a bunch of mixed matched pieces all screwed together, and it didn't function properly because things didn't line up. So I was losing space for guns. So I called said contractor back and said, bring me in one single sheet and come fit it, and he did. And now it looks much better because there are no seams. It's one piece. I've created room for 5 extra long guns, and that's because I took the 2 best pieces that were on that wall and I put them on the back wall. So now I have guns on 4 walls instead of just 2. So I have a lever action section. I have a 17 HMR section. I have a hunting rifle section, a milsurp section, a black rifle section, and a shotgun section, which unfortunately has a Kui 22 stuck in it because...
Why?
Well, because all the other Kuis are there. So
okay, so you should just have a Kui section.
Well, it is a Kui section, but the Kui section is taken over the bottom part of the shotgun section. And one of the shotguns
so you need more slot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you should... So you could like do tours now. You can label it.
Nice. So last Friday, Christina's staff party was held here. Christmas staff party.
Oh, okay.
And one of the
teachers.
But one of the people who was here heard me say something about a podcast. I was like, I was talking about that on the podcast I'm on last week. And she's like, oh, you do a podcast? What's it about? I'm like, it's about guns. Really? My brother collects World War II firearms. I'm like, come with me. So I brought her upstairs. Yeah, she's from Ottawa, and she then told me there's another lady downstairs at the party that was in the process of getting her RPAL, but I got
cool.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go talk to her, so I got blitzed out of my mind and then didn't know where I was anymore, so I never got to... Anyway, another story. So I brought her upstairs, showed her the milsurp section of my collection. She takes one look at it and goes, where's your Mauser? It's like, I love you. That's awesome. Thanks for judging me.
She was missing.
So, yeah, and she's telling me about her brother's Luger, and anyway, she took some pictures to send her brother and stuff, and maybe he's listening, because she said she would tell him about the podcast. So she took a picture of our logo and was going to look it up.
His name?
No, I don't even remember her name.
Oh,
it's one of those names.
I mean, I could find out, but yeah.
So if her brother's listening, he can send us an email and tell us that
I'm the brother of the girl who you don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. So there were tours happening during the staff party. There always are. People want to come check it out and stuff. So one guy asked the difference between the Glock and the Beretta 92. So that was the first thing that happened because we were talking Die Hard. And he's like, "Is it really made of polymer?" I'm like, "Oh my God, that's still a thing. Wow, awesome. Come with me." So yeah. So I gave him the no. He said porcelain. Sorry, he asked if it was really made out of porcelain. Yeah, because that's the word they used in Die Hard, not polymer. They used porcelain. So anyway. So speaking of Kui section, remember I told you guys last week that I bought a
$20 Kui? Yeah.
And there's another Kui on right now for sale on a gun website where you're allowed to post guns for sale, and it's local to me. It's a Kui 84 for 20 gauge for $20, and it turns out I only have one Kui 84 20 gauge.
So let's get another one,
right?
One is none. 2 is
one.
Yeah, and 14.
It's pretty hard.
14 is probably enough, right?
It depends what we're talking about. Like beer? No. It's pretty hard shape. It's only $100. But anyway.
Is it $100 or 20?
No, it's a 20 gauge, and he's asking $100.
Oh, okay.
But that's my gas money to get to AMA this weekend, so no. So this is what I got, though, for $20. So this is a Kui 28 gauge. It's Kui Model 84 28 gauge. Sweet. And the condition is fair to good. The wood has been refinished. The barrel is great, both inside and out. The receiver finish is a little wonky. These pins I don't think have ever been drifted, so I don't think it's ever. Oh, that one maybe. No, they look all right. So matching numbers, right? Because that's really important when collecting Kuis. But anyway, these are $350. Yeah, and these are $350 and up, depending on the condition. Because when it comes to Kui 84s, the 28 gauge is the rarest. And I have here in my other hand a Kui 28 gauge that I paid $350 for. Actually, more because I had to pay interest because Joey fronted me the money. He's like a loan shark, Joey the shark, and
I need to meet this guy.
Knows his customers.
Joey, he works with Denis. So the receiver on this one though is excellent. The finish is good, and you can still see the color case hardening. The wood, whatever. The wood could be redone. The barrel is the downside to this one, and there appears to be some pitting, but it could just need to be cleaned. And I'll be honest, like I've never cleaned it. It opens up really smooth. It locks up really smooth, but the barrel is rough. The receiver is better. The receiver is better in this one for sure. So anyway, I can't even tell you if I've ever fired a 28 gauge. And this is adding to the list of guns that I own that I've never fired. Like all the Kuis that I bought when I got crazy buying all the Kuis, right? I bought 2 when I was in Calgary this summer. I found a 20 gauge at the Cabela's, and then I found a 16 gauge for sale at CGN, and the guy brought it to Jeff, and Jeff mailed it to me. Actually, Jeff mailed me both those Kuis. Never fired one of them. And that's probably because I didn't go hunting this year because I went to match after match after match. So really, really sad that A, I didn't go hunting, and B, I haven't tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Kuis there that I bought that I've not fired yet.
There's lots of time.
First world problems.
Yeah.
Stacking up guns, not shooting them.
I know, right? I haven't shot my Howitt 223. I shot my Howitt 2250 though. Anyway, I did do more rifle this year than ever before, and then I counted up my match points for my IPSC matches. If you shoot a level 1, you get 1 point. You shoot level 2, you get 2 points. You shoot level 3, you get 3 points. Pretty simple system, right? 52 points in 29.
Didn't you come up with a full list of everything that you did?
I did. I have a list called 2019 events.
Still married? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. And what is that? You have standards until you have no more options. I heard that said on the Joe Rogan podcast. It reminded me of my wife.
That's like 20. That's like 25 matches.
Yeah.
Well, so for 2019, I've attended 34 shooting events.
Yeah, I did up over that, but I think that we all have attended a lot this year.
Yeah, proud to say there's a couple of maple seeds in there, and of course the ORPS helped add to that. The class I taught is in there as well. So,
yep,
formal events that were organized, 34.
Awesome.
And to be fair, the 34th is on Sunday.
Okay.
And those 2 points, the 2 points that pushed me into 52 will be acquired on Sunday. So
2 points.
A schwack of level 3.
You're giving yourself points. I love this.
He's winning.
Well, I mean,
because everything's a contest.
Yep.
No. I just explained the point system in IPSC. A level 1 match is worth 1 point. So,
but why you can?
Maple seeds are worth four points each.
No.
Okay,
3 gun matches are worth.
They're not
5
worth anything
because there's 3 guns.
52 IPSC points. You track your points for your RO status.
Okay.
I didn't assign points to anything else for fun. It's not like the rules are made up and the points don't matter. It's not that kind of game.
It is, because everything's a competition.
How many points do I get for a 2-day 3-gun match?
1. That one right there. That's all the points you get.
How many points do I get with putting up with you?
Also none.
You love putting up with me. I'm like your favoriteest thing of the week.
What? Who you been talking to?
Old people talk. Adriel.
Old people talk?
I said, people talk.
Oh, I thought you said old people.
Like you mishear things. Adriel, what have you been up to? Did you wear pajamas to a match and shoot horrible firearms?
He didn't wear pajamas. He wore the most excellent thing ever. What I want. It's a sleeping bag with legs.
It's a wearable sleeping bag. I think I was on the show one time wearing it.
Just be like,
yeah, and you were really hot.
It's
like,
what's that, Trevor?
Sweaty hot, not hot.
You could just nap wherever you wanted.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, even in -10 in the snow,
Yeah,
I could have just laid down and just taken a nap. It was so comfortable.
I showed up. Yeah, I showed up dressed for a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yep.
I want one. Oh, Adriel,
Mm-hmm.
I did have a look at. So you did a review of it, which was excellent, by the way.
Very serious.
I also went online to check and see how much they were. If you go to the website, it was ridiculous. But if you go to Amazon, really good price, like $69.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
And
Okay.
they gave that to you, did they not? Here's a sleeping bag you walk around in. Please review it.
I'm gonna send him a video and being like, it's really comfortable for 3-gun matches like this.
I think they'll love it.
I think
Amazing.
so. Yeah.
They have a whole new market. All right, sorry, I'll shut up while you
3-gun matches.
you talk about your 3-gun match.
Tactical 3-gun matches in Alberta because it's cold.
How is that fair? When I go, you don't shut up. When he goes,
Listen.
you literally say, "I will shut up and let you speak now." What is that?
I
Make him a
was
sandwich?
quiet
Respect.
for the
Wash
first
his
Much
car.
half.
respect where
I
respect
was
is
quiet
due.
for the first
Thank you very
half.
much.
Now,
Yeah, like you earned that respect. You're wearing a V-neck. Okay, there's no respect
It's a sweater.
with a V-neck.
Okay. Gotta show the ladies something. Come on.
he's showing cleavage.
Yeah. Some hair.
Not even I can do that anymore.
Yeah, so I shot a 3-gun match. Let's see. What did I use? I used M1 Garand in 308, Gersan MC28 at 9mm, and that Partis shotgun. Which gun do you think was the best, and which one do you think was the worst?
Function the best. I saw some of the videos, so.
That shotgun was solid through the whole thing.
I was gonna.
The pistol
yeah.
was too, but I just don't like shooting it compared to my Shadow. And the Garand worked pretty good, but I had a couple of
that was cool.
feed issues just trying to get it in there. And then I didn't.
You mean reloading issues?
You had Velcro issues too.
You mean
reloading or feeding?
Feeding.
Did the gun malfunction?
I just didn't want to feed a couple times, so I had to push on it and rack the bolt back a couple times till it got that first round in.
Partis
so
was
on the reload.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
was that because of how you put the clip in?
No.
Because not all clips are created equal either.
Yeah. You know how most of the time with the Garand you push a clip in, get your hand out of the way, and it goes forward, or you hit it forward.
Yep.
If I did that, it would jam almost every time. What I had to do is put the clip in, rack the bolt back, and let it take a running start on that thing, and then it worked. Which is a bit weird, but again, it's a 308 conversion for an M1 Garand. It's not a 30-06, so maybe that makes a difference. Maybe it makes a difference. I don't know. And then we had a head-to-head match, and on the first time I used it, I fired 2 shots, and then the charging handle op rod came off. You know how the bolt has that? It came off.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh.
I never heard of that happening. You got some worn parts there, or what?
I just jammed it back together and kept going. But I lost that one anyways. Whatever. It was still it's not a competitive get-up, but it was a December match in the snow and cold. So I got second overall, first unlimited with that setup.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was fun. It was a fun match. It was a good last match of the year to be out in the snow and cold and a sleeping bag and just shooting, having fun with the guys. I sold some guns. I'm selling some more. I'm going to try to sell my Axis in 308, Glock 17, Savage B-Mag, 17 WSM, my Shorty AR, maybe. I don't know. X-Bolt, stainless, and 30-06. I've got a bunch of guns that are sitting and they're not getting shot, and for me that means they get sold.
So you're going to sell them.
Move them out.
Ooh, me, pick me.
What do you want?
Sell the guns too?
Well, I want the list, but I've not heard you mention your 243.
Well, I just bought it, and it's for my kid. Oh, I didn't shoot it.
I don't care about your children, Adriel.
I'm keeping my kid the gun my kid's supposed to use to shoot a deer. I'm gonna keep that one, even though I didn't shoot it yet.
Whatever.
I also have like a Lyman Case Prep Express, which is like this motorized thing that helps prep up cases, and then a Lee Pro 1000, the Pro 1000. That thing's a real piece of crap too. So I expect almost.
Well, now you're going to sell it. Definitely, piece of crap.
If someone is stubborn, fantastic press for them. If someone who just doesn't know the word die.
It's called determination.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That Lyman case prep, I don't know. Like, what do you want? $40?
That's a $230 piece of equipment. What are you talking about?
Okay, negotiate offline, please.
Not worth that.
No, it's not worth that.
This is called banter, Kelly. Banter. It's a $200 piece of equipment. I offered him $40. This is for comedic effect. Come on. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Can somebody talk to the producer for me? I can't work like this anymore.
Can't work under these conditions.
No.
I haven't seen the producer in forever. He's got a baby.
Mm-hmm. And then, while I was at the 3-gun match,
Oh yeah, I need to see this.
Spectre Ballistics showed up and they're like, "Hey, I brought a receiver for you."
Really?
Yeah.
Did?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So it's like, "Oh, sweet." So there's a 10.
I need to say Spectre Ballistics. I need one of these, by the way.
I like that a lot.
I'm your new 1022 person here.
Look at how much room
I
there
like
is
that.
around the barrel. So like this
How
folds up
light is
there.
that?
I should probably weigh it. When I take it off. I'll weigh it. So it affixes onto the rifle using the action screw, and then it's also got a pin that's threaded on both sides that goes through the receiver. So there's
cool.
a front pin and then a rear pin, and the rear pin has screws on both sides, and that tightens it down against the stock. So
Spectre Ballistics is doing some cool stuff.
yeah.
Right.
They're also the ones that made the 1022 receiver that takes the 597 mag.
Yep.
They're also the ones that are designing like the straight pull AR receiver thing.
Yep. Which, like, I don't know what they're doing, but if I was them, I would put all my money and time into that, because that's going to sell like gangbusters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if your AR-15 is registered as a lower only, or you've never even bothered to build it, and they want that, fine. Give them that.
I'm not giving up
And
anything
then-
other than that. I don't care if it's registered as a 16-inch barrel. Sorry, sold it to Mike from Canmore.
Yeah,
Prove
but
me wrong.
in my case, my lowers are registered as lowers, so.
Mine's registered as having a 16-inch barrel.
You can one phone call and change that.
I can.
So then that 16-inch barrel goes on to.
I was
Physical.
talking with some
Yeah.
people online whether this would be a thing or not, re-registering your lowers, and whether it'd be required. I don't think it is, because you can just easily say, "Oh, I just took the low upper off and sold it. It's not the gun."
But isn't there a thing though where once you take the barrel off, you're required to notify them so they
You
can
have
change the
30
status?
days. So you take
30
it
days,
apart. Now you have 30
Yeah.
days to tell them.
Change for modification.
It's a stupid law. It's barely
I've
not
never
trackable,
read it
and I don't.
anywhere,
I don't.
Oh, it's not
I don't
trackable.
care. Yeah. I don't think it's breaking the law. I don't care. Anywho, that's neat.
Yeah, that's
It is
very
neat.
neat.
Yeah.
I don't like
Spectre
your choice of
bullets.
stock there, but
You don't like the stickers, or just
It's-
don't like the stock, or don't like the stock color?
that stock on that chassis doesn't work.
Too
That needs a
chunky.
low profile stock. Way too chunky.
It's got
That's
such a
white.
nice cheek weld to it.
It does. I own two of those. There's one on my Stag and there's one on my STI 3-gun rifle, and I like it a lot, but I think it looks the symmetry is off for me on that.
For the listeners, this is an ACSL Magpul stock. I like it because it's got
Yep.
the triangular cheek weld to it. It feels good. And
Awesome
this,
battery compartments.
yeah, it's for snacks, for like Slim Jims and that kind of thing. Right in the back here.
Slim Jims on one side,
yeah.
Skittles on the other.
Yeah, it's a tube, so you can fit, like, you just have to cut your Slim Jim in half, or your gas station Slim Jim. That comes with cheese in one side,
Yep.
pepperoni in the other.
It's
Right.
keto.
Yeah, it's totally keto.
Yeah.
Now, what you're about to point out next, I think, I'll let you go, and then if not, I'll ask you about it.
This gap here,
Yeah, I hate that.
but if it
I
was
hate it
if
so
it was
much.
far back, it would not feel good. Like this actually.
Yeah.
Look at
I
my
understand.
my trigger finger there. That's perfect.
I know it makes the reach correct. It's all about the ergonomics and making the length of pull correct. But I just wish there was some kind of filler, something to close in that gap. The M14 chassis from the Black Feather from M14.ca, same deal. Pistol grip goes on. There's a gap behind the trigger guard. I've just always found it not aesthetically pleasing. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah. Anywho, that's neat. I threw.
What's the retail on that?
I don't even know. I will have to look that
Does
up
it-
when I do my video. I think it's like
Does it come with the quick disconnects on it already?
no. I put a eBay M-Lock to QD push button kind of thing on there because I have QD push button slings. So I figured on the bottom that puts it so it wraps it around your hand, and then
I kind of want to
connect it up
actually
the
have a
back.
look at that. So can you do the review right away, please, so that I can have a look at it? Thank you.
If it's not too much trouble, get on that. Kelly, your tiara is tipped to one side there. You might want to straighten that.
I'm pretty sure I've got some high def photos on my Facebook page that show that. I think.
Okay.
I think. I took some like crappy photos on Instagram, and then I put some good ones on my Facebook group. I've been taking a lot of photos recently and just throwing them up on Facebook. And then I sent some patches to Barry, Phil, and Ernie. So your patches are in the mail. Anyone else that is missing their patches, email us again, and I will send some more.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've been going to the post office a lot, mailing lots of stuff, guns and patches and all sorts of weird stuff.
I haven't been. I've been putting it off because I keep getting more stuff.
Keeps coming in. How about you, Kelly? What have you been up to?
So I've done a lot this week. I got these things. I want you guys to actually check these out. These are BC Clothing. They're at Costco. It's $25 for a pair of cargo pants. The cargo pants actually are lined for winter, and I'm using these for maple seed. These are awesome. $25. All kinds of pockets. I think Adriel, you got some of these too, didn't
I got
you?
the zip off ones that turn into shorts. Show me those ones.
Those are the winter. These ones don't. These ones obviously are
Gun
lined.
show. Just saying.
But hey, they're gun pants.
They got lots
pants?
of
Where do you-
And
pockets.
all of our
Gun
I sent
pants.
them off. I sent the stuff off to our Maple Seed people, so they have summer ones too that Adriel and I both wear. Those are the zip off ones, but these ones are the winter ones because they're lined and it's like $25. So they're awesome. What else? I went to SFRC on Saturday. I finished paying off my Troy AR. I had $150 left on it because I was only able to pay $1,000 last time because that's all my debit would allow. So I went and paid that off, and I went and saw everybody at SFRC. Had a great Saturday with them. Right down the road from SFRC is a friend of mine. He contacted me. He's the guy that it was the estate thing. So I went to his place and picked up a Winchester Model 94 RCMP. It's the Centennial Edition 3030. This thing was still in the box, still with the original packaging, everything from 1973. It was pretty freaking awesome. So what's happening is he asked me to keep it until he gets his PAL, and then he's going to get it back. He's going to go get his PAL as our PAL in the new year and going to become a new gun owner as well. So
Cool.
he's also making so my friend is a former firefighter for the city of Kingston. His brother is an OPP officer. So his father was an RCMP officer. So he bought 2 of these rifles, gave one to his brother and gave one to my friend. So there's 2 of them right now within that family, and so I thought it was pretty awesome. And I sent to everybody pictures. It's a beautiful rifle. That night we went over to Kelly Kincaid's place, so the Kincaid Ranch, and we spent Saturday night drinking and eating, which we normally do in our
One of my favorite
pajamas.
Things. Yeah, good.
And we were
Perfect.
dancing around, listening to music and stuff that normally when Kelly and I get together, and usually Tracy is with us, Tracy Wilson, but she wasn't there this time. And I think she probably is a little bit upset about that because on Sunday, so normally what happens is on Sunday mornings, we wake up really, really early. We grab a coffee. We go out to Kelly's tree stand, which is about a 10-minute walk from the house. We get up into the tree stand and we drink coffee, and it's really quiet. And then we go back to the house and eat breakfast. And we did that this year, or not this year, but this time. And we had brunch. And Kelly decided instead of making us bacon and eggs, we were going to have venison stew, homemade venison stew. So we had that for brunch, and we were eating our venison stew, and Kelly went and hopped in the shower. And as we're finishing eating venison stew, there was 5 does that came over the ridge came over the ridge, and Kelly's husband Kyle ran into the bathroom and told Kelly to jump out of the shower because Kelly has her doe ticket for a crossbow. So, yeah, Kelly actually got out of the shower with soap still in her hair, put her hair in a towel, went onto the back deck, and took a shot at a doe.
Smoked the doe with a crossbow from the deck.
From the deck. Yeah, so I didn't know if she hit the doe or not. The doe didn't even really. The doe was towards her and then turned sideways, so she took the shot, but as she took the shot, the doe was also then turning around to go and be with the other little does, but didn't run, just walked away, and the other does walked away as well. But Kelly went down to have a look at the arrow, and there was blood and hair on the arrow, so we all got dressed and we decided, so we obviously had to go and track this deer. So we tracked it for quite a while. There was blood drops everywhere. Every once in a while, there's a larger pool of blood, but there was drips along the way. It was fresh snow as well, so kind of concerned after a while because it was quite a while that we were tracking this deer, and tracked it across some frozen water, obviously, and then up.
So
further.
Ice, you mean?
Yeah. Ice. Shut up. So, yeah, we came up. We were a little bit noisier. Deer stood up, and Kelly took another shot. She obviously was carrying her crossbow and took another shot because the deer stood up and hit it solidly in the lungs. And that was the end of the deer. What had happened was the first shot did hit the deer. It went through and through the hind quarter. Actually, went through both legs. But it didn't obviously cripple the deer.
But it did enough that
it did enough
that
damage.
Deer couldn't run anymore and was trying to hide, and even like and had to stay there even as you guys were coming up. So you guys got within shooting distance of it. So it was almost done for anyways.
Right. So she took the shot. She did well. It she got a long shot. And then we had to take the deer back. As I said, it was a little bit of a trek. So put it into a sled up the road. And then Kelly, she has never done it before. Kyle always did it for her. So Kelly got walked through, and I helped her out with gutting, skinning, and hanging the deer as well. So yeah, so when we were supposed to go, and we were supposed to actually shoot clays, and we were supposed to actually shoot 22s because the Kincaids have built their own little maple seed range. That didn't happen. We instead skinned a deer, and hung it and gutted the deer. So I wasn't really dressed for it. I was dressed for the city. I had these really nice North Face, boots with the lace up and everything, and I had my Under Armour jacket that had. Anyways, I had to wash everything because it was full of blood. But next time I'm just going to. Yes.
Oh, cool.
First time. Yes. So I didn't expect to do that. I expected to actually shoot a shotgun at clays. And I expected to shoot maple seed targets.
So did you get into it? Did you get your hands dirty? Did you remove organs?
Had to have if her boots and clothes were all covered in blood. Had to have.
Well, the boots could have been walking through it, but good for you. Way to get in there.
Well, you know what? It had to be done, and quite honestly, everybody helped out with it, and it's kind of like you make sure that we don't waste anything. So the organs, went to the critters. So when we skinned the deer, Kelly actually, so her goal was to not any nicks or anything, because if you turn in a hide, then that goes to the reserve, and they make clothing and everything out of the hide. But if there's nicks, it's harder for them to do that. So, but you also get entered into a draw if you give a skin that's pristine. So she did. She also got a hat because of it as well. She goes, my goal is to get this hat. So it was fun from the point of view we were able to do it together, and she was super excited and super happy. So I took pictures of her because this is basically her deer. So it was fantastic. And, we'll probably have some more venison from it as well. So good for her. On Sunday or Saturday, we actually had a call with Fred Pellegrino from FOC, Firearms Firearms Canada.
Outlet.
Is it Firearms Canada? Yeah. Outlet Canada, right. So he's the guy that plans TACCOM, so we're going to be doing an announcement soon about that. I wanted to say thanks to Ian from the Prepper Podcast. He's getting a group of us together to talk to Fred, and we might even be at the TACCOM this year. Other thing, lots of events coming up for Project Maple Seed. Keep sending in the emails, info@mapleseedrifleman.com. Send us an email if you have not been part of our tour before, because we'd like to come and see you. But Adriel is also looking at setting up some events. The calendar, it's been released. Go and get one. I put the link in the show notes. Adriel, can you make sure that gets into the show notes as well?
Calendar for
the CCFR 2020 Gunny Girl calendar. It's been released. It's $20. All the money goes back into getting more women into the shooting sports. If you want your sport to survive, that means that women have to get into shooting. So go and buy one. Not only do you have to buy one, fantastic, beautiful women, but you'll also register it, and then you get to win prizes. So it just keeps on giving. Right?
Yep.
Right. Okay. That's it for me. That's all I did in guns.
All right, let's get into upcoming.
Technically, it was a crossbow and not a gun.
Okay, what did I say?
That's what I did this week in guns. You killed the deer with a crossbow and not a gun.
Oh.
It was a joke.
No,
Where's the producer?
Off a gun.
Where's the producer?
Moving on.
She doesn't get my jokes. I can't work like this.
You need more alcohol.
You're not wrong.
Just generally.
Yeah. No, it's not about.
I need alcohol.
My alcohol level, the higher my Kelly tolerance.
Oh, I drank. I did drink whiskey this week.
Ew.
I was feeling sick. I had a cold. I had a man cold. My throat was sore, so I drank whiskey, and guess what?
Got worse.
It got better.
No, I don't feel bad. I'm not sick anymore.
Girl.
It killed everything.
The whole thing was ridiculous.
Just had to go on like a 4-day bender, and sore throat's gone.
Yeah.
Well, I finished off a bottle of Jameson's, and then we had bourbon. So it was like,
bourbon's practically medicine.
Right. It is. Harshest. I mean, man, I don't get bourbon.
Well, it's same as whiskey. So.
It is whiskey. It's bourbon whiskey.
Right.
Rye whiskey, Scotch whiskey, bourbon.
It's different.
Bourbon. It's corn. Yeah, it's gross.
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink it, but it's not my go-to whiskey.
Upcoming events. The 10th annual Podcast Network charity shoot. We'll probably have some sort of whiskey drinking at it. That'll be at the Rescouche Gun Club, Saturday, July 4th. Registration and payment will soon be available through Practice Score. It'll be $25. There'll be a mini steel challenge, match, 22 pistol, 22 rifle, PCC, or handgun, and a half round of trap. One self-serve pistol bay will be set up for steel. And we'll probably have one of those 3-gun stages like they have at Terran Tactical, where you can do somersaults and shoot at targets that are really close, but with frangible ammo. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be set up there.
Will we get our picture taken with
Keanu?
John Wick?
Yeah, Keanu's going to be there too.
You should invite him.
Yeah, we'll invite him. We assume he's going to come. We're not paying.
Of course.
Why
wouldn't he?
Let's see.
Wait.
What?
So of course he's going to come. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Yep. He's Canadian. Come
Middle of nowhere, New Brunswick. I'm sure everyone wants to visit there. Yeah.
Not on purpose. Usually end up here by mistake.
We'll play it up. It's like the remote seaside location.
Speaking about
say Rescouche Gun Club, and it'll be like.
Speaking about New Brunswick, there was a rifle that accidentally went off in one of their police stations. Fredericton.
Yeah, Fredericton. Oopsie doodle.
It was a training exercise.
Never heard
Inside-
never heard anything about it.
When it goes off like that, it's a training
Is it-
exercise.
That's what they said. They said it was a training exercise in the
AKA,
detachment with
it
a
was
rifle.
an accidental discharge.
Negligent.
Depends on who you're talking to.
It depends what actually happened, because maybe it wasn't meant to be loaded.
Yeah.
I don't think it was meant to be
No, I don't
loaded.
think so either. Anyways,
We also had an ERT team member blow up his patrol carbine with a 300 blackout, or
really?
he blew up a 300 blackout with a 5.56. That happened here in New Brunswick too.
One of the issues of 300 blackout and 5.56, right?
Yeah, a 300 blackout will fit in the chamber of a 223,
Mhm.
but not the other way around.
All right.
You can't fit a 5.56 in a. Oh no, you can.
Yeah, of course you can. No, the throat of the chamber is not deep enough to allow the cartridge to go all the way in and the bolt to close to the point where it'll fire.
In any case, label your mags if you got those two.
Right?
Yeah.
My 76.2 mags green.
There you go. Green means go. Put it in.
Yep.
Start pulling the trigger. I thought this was kind of funny because of how indignant Virginia got about this new gun law that they have coming in. So there's been some new gun control put in at the state level, and the counties and municipalities have been rebelling a little bit about it. Yeah, they've been setting up their counties or municipalities as Second Amendment sanctuaries, and they've been refusing to enforce new gun control that the state's been trying to put on them. And this is now 80 of the 90 counties in Virginia that have done this, and there's still a couple more that are still like in the process of doing this.
I'll come on board.
It's kind of funny, right? I mean, imagine this was in Canada and the feds try to put in some gun control and the provinces are like, nah, we're not going to do that. We own the police here, and we're just not going to enforce that stuff. So,
Well,
pound sand.
we had something similar back in the 90s when firearms licenses came out. New Brunswick came out and said, our DNR officers won't be asking for that. That's a federal problem. That's a you problem. They came out and they said it. And now we're gone to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where our DNR officers are now public safety officers and can ask for whatever they want and enforce all aspects of the Motor Vehicle Act, et cetera, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just I got jealous. I felt a little twinge of jealousy at Virginia, not for like the new laws that they're getting in, but just for how much their counties and municipalities down there were just like, nah, stuff that. We're not going to do that. Nope, not here.
America's, like I said, there's nothing united about the United States. The federal government says something, and the states and the municipalities go, this is what we think.
Nope. Send
You
the
don't tell us
National
what to
Guard. Send everyone.
Yeah.
You'll need them all.
Yeah. Yeah, don't care.
Yeah.
Your law is dumb. We're not going to follow it. America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then something just local here in Canada. Scheer has stepped down today. Apparently he was taking money from the Conservative Party to pay for his kid's private school. That's what I saw on Twitter.
What?
No.
You guys didn't see that.
So he stepped.
That was global
I did
not
see
news.
that.
Global news says, like today, oh yeah, he was caught with taking money from the Conservative Party to pay for his kid's private school.
Oh my God, he stepped down amid controversy and scandal. I had no idea. I thought he just realized that he sucks and he couldn't beat Trudeau, and it was either this or suicide.
Well, yeah, to not win against Trudeau when he was caught with so many things. Yeah. Anyways, I think this is a fantastic thing because now the Conservative Party can pick someone who is more palatable and someone who be a little bit more firm, a bit more conviction.
I didn't mind him, but unfortunately, people today want flashier.
I'm
dynamic,
minded
etc.
from the milk drinking episode. Like, what was that? Like a year ago. As soon as he's doing that, I was like, nah, you're owned by corporate, the evil milk lobby. You know,
There's a whole.
if you're gonna be owned by the milk lobby, at least like do it, but like don't brag about the fact. Anyways, yeah, politics. Let's talk about some gun stuff.
Okay.
The new hotness, the 22 pistol that everyone needs, the Glock 44.
Stop.
New Glock 44.
If you shoot this, it will give you the downs.
The downs.
It seems like not a lot of innovation for more.
What do people want from Glock? A PCC. What does Glock give them? A 22 caliber handgun no one ever asked for.
With 10-round mag. The people in the States are salty about those 10-round mags. Doesn't make a difference to us, but they are salty about that in the U.S. They're like, what is
Kel-Tec
this?
Kel-Tec comes out with a pistol that shoots 30 rounds of 22 Magnum. Glock comes out with a 22 pistol that shoots 10 rounds.
And that Kel-Tec has a red dot rail on it, so you can put a red dot on it. Can't put a red dot on a Glock. No optics ready. I mean, you can't anyways, because you put a red dot on a slide of a 22. I imagine it just works like crap. But that Kel-Tec thing has a rail on the top, so you can. Anyways, yeah, I think it's kind of neat. I think some people might end up buying it. Now, again, rewind it 5 years, and 22 9mm was harder to get. It was more expensive. Today, 9mm is cheap. You can buy it by the thousand. I would just shoot. If I was going to practice, I would just shoot 9mm and dry fire. I wouldn't bother with a 22 in between. Maybe if
Has Hickok put out a video on this yet?
I didn't look.
I tell you, I am of the opinion now that if I could train with, like, if I was still shooting classic, I would be doing some drills with 22 for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm really getting into my bend stagger books, and I'm practicing more. I'm doing more dry fire than I've ever done in my entire IPSC career because of this new platform that I have to learn. It's got an optic, it's double action, single action, and let me tell you, if I had a 22 version of that Redback, I'd be using it. I'd be doing all these dry fire drills, but they'd be live fire with 22. That's just me. I know we've gone a lot over the years. I've gone both ways. Just get a 9mm. But if you can get a 22 that is identical to your competition pistol, like you can set up a GSG 1911 identical to your competition 9mm or 45 1911 if you want to.
Yeah.
There's value there.
It won't be the same.
Nope, but it's still better than dry fire.
Hickok hasn't done one yet.
No.
There we go.
Okay.
Nope.
Anywho, Glock 44.
I'm not saying get rid of dry fire altogether, but yeah. So what do you think? Do you like it? Would you get one?
No, it's too much. Like $500 is too much for a 22 pistol. The GSG is $300. You can get them for $250 used. Yeah. It's like there's some other advantages to it, like in terms of like the packaging and that kind of thing, that just don't do anything for me as a Canadian.
Yeah.
And if I was an American, and I'd be pissed about the 10-round mags, because that's a lot of grip body, a lot of space that could be used for a double stack of some kind or some sort of stack. Yeah.
They just should have made a 22 version of the Glock 19. Maybe the 48.
I'm pretty sure it's the Glock 19 frame.
Really? I did not think that. I thought it was like smaller. Well, then interesting. You know, Adriel, maybe they tried and couldn't get the anything more than a 10-rounder to work.
Cool.
All right.
That's their failing.
That's their failing.
Anyways, I'm
So
sure it's a reliable pistol. The nice thing about a Glock is that that's going to be a nice, reliable pistol. The next one here, I think this was Italian Supplies, Italian shooting goods. They've got the Stoeger Cougar 8000 on sale. It's a 9mm Beretta-looking thing. It uses a rotating barrel like the Storm, the PX4. It's $399. Okay. So like,
I love Cougars. I really do.
Shush.
How about this pistol though?
Yeah, how about pistols?
Oh, the pistol's fine.
This pistol looks kind of ugly. Looks kind of dumb. It looks kind of dumpy and ugly. It's got a ported barrel. That's kind of neat.
There we go.
Controls. There, now you see it. Now you see it.
The barrel's kind of gross.
Oh, I'm switching to MILF. This thing's awful.
Jesus.
You're gonna wait for the Stoker
Jesus.
MILF then?
It's $400.
I
What
don't
do you
care.
expect for $400?
The Smith & Wesson SEV9 is $400, and
This thing probably has a better trigger pull than the SD9V or whatever, though.
yeah, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah, but it's got looks only a mother could love.
Well, no, it looks like a bowl of crushed arseholes. I mean, it's horrible. Like, it looks like its face caught fire and someone beat it out with a chain. Like, it's ugly.
I think this is why Stoker's making that new striker fired pistol that they've got. They don't want to have that one on the catalog anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is like the fat kid at the dance no one will dance with. Like, just
And he got hit by a truck.
right? An ice cream truck.
I like ice cream.
I Run Guns
Wait.
is offering for a fee temporary firearms
of course.
storage in the U.S. So if you want, and you're scared of your guns getting banned, and you think like this new conservative is going to win next time and unroll whatever the liberals do, you could store your stuff in the U.S. and they'll do that for you.
There are rich Canadians already doing this on their own, like rich Canadians that have timeshares or relatives in Florida. They have access and resources to figure out all the export permits and import permits. There's going to be a flood of guns going into the U.S. And it's smart. It's smart. Do it, man. Don't have your property stolen. And it sucks because it's like the only freedom is financial freedom. If you're financially free, then you're free to do all kinds of wonderful things to not let the government F you around. And people of means are going to do this, and I applaud them for it. And if I had the means, I would do it too. Why should I let the government steal my property? I'll go legally store it in the United States and give Trudeau the finger. Screw these guys.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, if you don't want to figure out the licensing side, Iron Guns can.
Holy smokes! I've got an old college roommate from who lives in Maine. I can read.
Maine?
How much? Yeah, I get all the paperwork done. Drive my guns into Maine.
Yeah.
You're supposed to. Never mind.
Supposed to what?
Anything you bring in, you're supposed to bring out yourself.
I'm legally going to export
them. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you bring them back in, if you export them,
Not talking about Kelly. Like what you said makes no sense. Like I'm trying to hide my guns in the U.S. and stop them from being stolen. I actually have to legally export them,
Yes.
and then I will legally re-import them. I'm not just going to a shoot and going to forget it behind. Because when I come back into
Did you
Canada,
have a
they're gonna be like,
gun?
"Where's the gun?"
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
No, that's a misprint. I didn't bring all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which did you bring in? None of them?
None.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned the Tavor 7s. They're on for $3,000. Those are kind of neat. And then the last one here, guys are working on these short barrels for the GSG 16. So they're looking pretty good. They look really good. Because you can hit OAL on those guns with a pin stock, you can run a real short barrel on them. Looks fantastic. Looks very much like the MP5 that the RCMP tried banning the first time around when they brought these guns in. And now they're bringing them in looking at like something else, and people just change it over when they get here. And that's okay.
Yep.
That's okay.
It's okay. We should be allowed to convert guns into bullpups too. No, you have to buy your bullpup. Whatever you do, do not put your gun in a bullpup chassis, but buy all the bullpups you want.
Yes. Just from the factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't cut your shotgun barrel down, but buy an 8-inch barrel if you want.
Oh yeah, like you can cut it as far as 18.5, but stop. But yeah, go buy a factory 8-inch if you want.
Yeah. Doesn't really make much sense. I put a main topic in here if you guys are game for it. Options if a ban gets put in place. Because
Sure.
I've been talking to some guys on Reddit, and they're like, oh my god, what am I going to do? What does this mean? What happens when this actually gets in, if and when it gets in? We talked last week about our thoughts on whether it would get in or not, and we didn't really talk about what would be some of the options available to people if it got in.
Okay.
Well, let's break it into a couple pieces, because part one is handgun and municipalities, right? So
Right.
the Liberal government was saying, yeah, we're going to give the power to the municipalities to
Municipal.
ban
yes.
handguns. How much detail do we actually have on this, and whether it'll go through, or not whether it'll go through, what it would look like if it did go through?
Well, we already decided that it's not enforceable.
Right.
There could be a lawsuit launched because does the federal government have the right to provide the municipality with firearm registration and data? So there could be a challenge there, perhaps. But I mean, I'm no lawyer. Like, I don't know. But like I said, in Toronto, there's lots of millionaires who have guns who can draw a lawyer faster than they can draw a gun. So it's going to be challenged. I mean, absolutely.
But
And how do they enforce that?
How do they enforce it? Yeah. So I mean, you're talking about like the municipality can't jail you, but of course they can fine you. So
the municipality could also say, "Hey, CFO, no handguns here, please. Can you deal with that?" And the CFO could deal with it. The CFO could say, "Oh, Kelly, we see that you're in this area that just got a municipal gun ban. You'll have to sell those handguns, transfer them to someone else, or turn them into the police. Thank you very much. Get that done in 30 days." And
Inside the city boundaries.
Wow, right in the middle of the call, it decided to update.
oh, interesting. Yeah, and your mic changed and everything
Yep.
as well. You
You got a deeper voice. It's like you're going
Yeah.
through puberty.
Which is the opposite of what you're going through?
Shut up.
So Kelly, like you were mentioning there, one of the options would be move to get around the municipal gun ban. Move to a rural area, or move to a municipality where the chances of a handgun ban going through are very low.
Yep. I'm going to move 5 kilometers north.
crazy, right?
I know.
Would you go, like, you own a home? It's not like you're living in an apartment. Just sell your home and move, so you don't have to give up your 2 handguns or your 3 handguns. Like,
Damn right I would.
but you shouldn't have to. So
I shouldn't have to. But before I do that, what I'd like to do is actually run council so that I can
there you go.
get rid of the people who are idiots on my city council.
As an option.
Yeah.
Because Kingston's already gone through this. So
Would Kingston vote in a handgun ban?
currently,
Yeah.
I right now with the Liberals turning it over to the municipalities, I'm not sure. They might. It was a close vote in June. In June, the city council voted on whether to make recommendations to the federal government with respect to a handgun ban, right? Or strengthening our existing gun laws. So when that was happening, there was a vote amongst the city council and it was split, and the mayor was the one that was the deciding vote, and he said it's not within municipal government's privy to actually make recommendations with respect to handguns. So
Yeah, that's
that
interesting.
that being said, if it was the same thing this time, I'm not so sure that it would have went the way it did.
Well, because his reasoning that it's not under their
Right.
purview, it would be under their purview.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be too bad. I mean, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver,
And
Ottawa?
Ottawa push back. Kingston is we're a liberal stronghold, and we've always been, whether it's municipal, it's provincial, or even federal. We're a liberal stronghold. So
Does anyone ever go to these meetings and stand up and say, do you all realize that the people using the guns are already banned from owning them?
yeah,
And could you explain to me how taking away legal gun owners' guns is going to prevent crime when they are not the ones preventing crime? What do they respond to these challenges?
well, there's so the data. So what had happened with specifically Kingston? Doctors for Gun Control sent them the information and kept giving them information with respect to suicides, with respect to illegal firearms used in, I don't know, whatever. And but the information was not correct, and they didn't really care. Basically, the ones they had, just like anything else, they had their minds made up before they listened to their constituents.
Yeah, you nailed it right there. Their minds are made up. It doesn't matter what you say to them.
So option 1, move.
Option 1 is move. 2 is run for city council. 3
is if you've got a friend, like, let's take Filthy for example. If Fredericton would decide to ban guns, Filthy has friends who live outside of the city limits.
Yep.
When you call for your license, they say, is that the address in which your firearm will be stored? Nope, it's going to be stored at this guy's house. And you change the address for storage to someone else's house.
That's a good idea.
Someone who you like drinking at their place.
Yep.
I guess you're going to have a lot of evenings over there.
Like, if I don't like drinking at your place, you're probably not a friend of mine anyway, and I wouldn't trust you with my guns. So yeah, that's option 3 is just relocate your guns outside the city limits to a friend's place.
Yep. Or move, because that actually hits them where the taxes are.
Right. They don't deserve your tax revenue. That's number 1, Kelly. If it's feasible, which it's not. It's not. I mean, some people.
A lot of people not. No. Yeah.
I don't really like the idea of segregating the population either, because it makes for echo chambers in some of these cities where you're surrounded by people who don't own guns because they've all been chased away, and you think, oh, we'll ban guns. Does it? No one I know has a gun. Well, yeah, because you chased they're all gone, right?
Right.
It's an issue.
But that's what the left want. The left want to be surrounded by the left and only the left. And if you don't agree with them,
right. Because what was happening?
Yeah, he is right, but because that's what the liberals want. They want to be surrounded by just liberals and other leftist cucks.
But what they're also doing is they're creating a rural versus city, right?
Yeah. Urban leftist view.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't. That's my reason why I don't really like the moving part, because it segregates the population and makes it more likely that we lose in an election as well, because we could put everyone in Alberta, and then it comes time to vote for a federal government, and
your votes don't matter.
And it don't matter. And then we get a non-gun friendly government in, and they ban it, and it's like, oh well, it's fantastic, you guys are all in one spot, but screw you guys, right?
And when they get rid of the handguns, the following year it's semi-automatics, and then after that it's shotguns. You know what I mean? It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Because the crime won't stop. Oh well, there's still gun crimes happening. Yeah, I know they're happening with handguns, but let's take another gun away from the people who aren't doing it.
Got to get those pump shotguns away from them. Like New Zealand and Australia, they just they did the one, and then afterwards it was just a constant bleed. And
yep,
right.
That's the risk. Yeah. Other options on municipal. You could sell your handguns. Get into another sport.
From my cold dead hands.
Trevor.
Yes.
You have to sell all your handguns. How would you like that? You have to get into another sport. You have to go back to archery.
Maple seed.
What you're saying doesn't compute. Like.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's if somehow tomorrow there were no handguns and I couldn't do IPSC, then I would start up IPSC rifle if I still have my rifle. If I lost my rifle, then I would start up IPSC shotgun. And and if they took away the semi-automatic shotguns, then IPSC shotgun manual division would be the only form of IPSC in the country.
Yeah.
And that's what we would switch to. Some people would say screw it and leave. I could see myself switching to IPSC shotgun before going back to archery. Probably, yeah.
IPSC shotgun looks fun. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And the difference between IPSC shotgun and 3-gun, for example, is they separate manual action from semi-automatic action. So in 3-gun, you show up with a pump. Well, guess what? you may be in open.
Unless you go heavy.
You may be in limited.
If you go 308
Yeah,
rifle
if you go
and
heavy,
45
yeah.
pistol and pump shotgun, then you're in heavy.
Yeah, they changed one aspect of heavy recently. I can't remember which though. Either you don't have to use a 45 or you don't have to use a pump. I can't remember.
Yeah, it depends on the rule set and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
if municipalities ban handguns, are they going? They're not going to pay for them. They're just going to ban them because
No.
Toronto or
Yep.
Kingston or Montreal, they're not going to pay for those handguns. So that's going to destroy the secondhand market.
Yes.
Yeah.
But depending on your point of view, because if you're Trevor or I, we're going to have a lot of handguns that we can buy because a lot of people are going to get rid of them.
Yeah, the market is going to just collapse. Nothing will be worth anything anymore.
Well, like there's still enough population that's outside of Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal, so like there's still enough population that'll be buying that
Yeah,
stuff.
you're right.
When collapse, it would take quite a haircut on price.
20%?
No, I would say like 30-40% discount on all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, because there's just not going to be the buyers for it. If the market is flooded with a bunch of people who have to sell, given
right.
like let's be generous, give it a year. You have a year to get rid of your handguns. Even that is too much. And yeah, anyone buying would have like a field day. Anyone selling, you're taking a haircut on all that kind of stuff. Or you're putting it at your buddy's house that's that's got a cottage outside the city limits.
Yeah, and do that. Don't give up your property. You know, and how do they enforce that?
There's a lot of questions around this one. It looks like a dicey piece of legislation to even try to do, because gun control is federal.
I mean, if you have a municipal, so if you have a municipal police force, your town has laws, right? So you can be charged with breaking a town law, you can be charged with breaking a provincial law, you can be charged with breaking a federal law. A municipal police officer can enforce all of those. So this would become part of a municipal act.
Right.
What would the punishment be?
They would have to get the cooperation of the CFO to flag, and at some point, someone has to enforce.
They pull me over. I'm in Toronto. They pull me over. I'm in Toronto, and I have a legal handgun stored in accordance with federal law. It's registered. I have a license. They find some excuse to toss my car, and they find it. What do they do at that point? You're right. Come into my home.
You're Trevor, who lives in New Brunswick and legally has it there, and you're driving through.
No.
Or you live there?
I'm a Toronto resident. I'm in Toronto.
They would have got it like well before then.
If you're assuming that the CFO plays ball and gives them the information, let's say the CFO does not provide the information, right? So the only way they're really gonna catch me is if they catch it in my possession outside of my home on my way to a range or something.
The Liberal Party put in registration so that they could confiscate. They would not enact these laws afterwards and then not use the tool that they put in place.
Correct. Yeah, like they were supposed to destroy the data, and that didn't even happen. Quebec got a copy of the long gun registry.
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy theory out there that when the flooding happened in Alberta, the RCMP had a copy of the data and went around and only kicked in the doors of gun owners and took their guns.
Looked How extra did they know hard for guns there.
Yeah. How did they know which homes had guns and which homes didn't?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think they would use that registry to take it. Now the interesting thing is, what happens if everyone's tracked? They know who you are. They know where you live. They know which handguns you have. You have to turn them in or sell them or transfer to someone else. I wonder how many people are going to get their doors kicked in with a SWAT team because they've illegally got a handgun. Because that will be the end route. That's the end result of something like this.
And I think, especially in the big cities, that's the only approach. Here in Campbellton, because I shoot with members, both archery and guns, and the training officer there is the one that got me into shooting. I'll get a phone call or a knock on the door. They're not going to send an ERT team to my house. This is small town New Brunswick. They don't do business that way. But in Toronto, where nobody knows anybody, and they assume everybody's going to kill you, I could totally see the AR-15s being pointed at children, like in New Zealand.
Cool. Let's. Anything else on the handgun? You guys want to talk about the assault rifle, the military style,
Yes,
military
let's-
style assault weapon, depending on the day. Sometimes
Yeah.
weapon, sometimes rifle ban. So Blair said that that's going to be going through as an OIC, order and council. Suggested it. Some people say that Blair is a loudmouth and says stuff that isn't in his purview, anyways.
And they're not wrong.
Yeah.
But he did say it.
Pretty
Yep.
clearly, yeah. Said they're building
I'm
a list.
I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, that's the only way I think that they'd be able to get it done anyways. So
In a short period of time, yeah. Again, that
in a short
handgun
period
one,
of time. But even if,
Mhm.
but even with an OCI, it's going to take them a while to get it all in place.
Yeah, but if they decide to go that route, there's nothing we can do to stop it. Look,
Order and council.
they had a majority government. Look how long it took to get C-71 through.
Yeah, I know.
Now they got a minority government. They may not survive long enough to get something through without using an OIC.
And that's
Like,
the only way to get it in, I think.
This is how corrupt you are, how narrow-minded and short-sighted you are. You are the smallest liberal minority in the history of the Canadian political system, and your number one priority is to get assault rifles out of law-abiding gun owners' hands using an OIC, which was never intended to be used this way. That's the legacy you want to leave.
no, not only that, they put in a tax that saved me $27, so I'm super happy about that.
Oh, excellent! All 27 of the dollars.
$27 a tax, right?
Yeah. So those are the two
Well, what
things
about the
that-
carbon
That and the
tax?
gun
It's going
thing
to
is
cost
gonna
you
cost me-
11 cents more a liter in the
Yeah.
next by January.
Yeah,
1st.
that's going to cost me a
Just
pile of
saying.
money, and so is the the seizing all my guns is going to cost me quite a bit of money too. But that's $27
But you can go and buy a pizza for the 27
once
bucks.
a year. Yep, every year.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So what do we do with this? I liked my idea a while ago of find an American and legally export your guns into the U.S. so they can't take them.
Rosno, we're going to give you a call after the
You're getting flooded. Spencer the Whale. We're gonna divide them all up.
show. Okay.
I guess that's one option. Yeah.
We should actually find some friends along the border like Stacy and Bill and, Brian Sheets.
Yeah.
At least I should, anyways.
I'm too far from the border. I don't know. Like this is too much
Yeah.
work. I mean, one of the options is to sell some things now, because if you're sitting on 5 AR-15s,
Yeah.
there's a really good chance those things are going to go prohib.
Can I ask you guys a question about that? A lot of people were saying, don't go buy any more AR-15s. You're stupid. You're wasting your money, which I just did. I just bought one last week. So what is your thoughts on that? Should you be buying or should you not be buying stuff right now?
Up until recently, I was like, buy. Now,
I just got a trigger, and I don't even have any AR to put it in. It was a good deal, though. It was
Yeah,
a
we
good
need
deal.
to talk about that.
I am buying that. You be quiet. That's gonna go in my WK.
I don't know if
No,
this will
no.
fit in a WK. I think that the trigger. I'll try it online. I'm pretty sure that the WKs have a weird trigger pocket. So should you
haven't.
buy an AR-15 right now? Well, they explicitly said they're going to ban them. So it's a question of like, are they going to ban them right away? Not right away, because you might be able to shoot like a couple of seasons of 3-gun and that kind of thing, and then they buy it back for what you paid for it. Who cares, right? You're still up.
Well, I haven't. So I saw a document from the CS AAA that said they were going to pay $1,000 an AR.
That's average.
Yes.
They were
So-
ballparking. That was the CS
Right.
Well,
ballparking.
I have a $50 Norinco lower. Give me $1,000 for it. I don't care.
Or how do they determine market pricing? Because one of the things that I've seen on CGN is people putting up a joke posting saying Norinco AR lower $300. No one's going to actually buy it. They're just trying to seed the market to say that's the market value is. It's possible. I don't think it's actually going to work, because there's going to be some people who are nervous, who are going to panic sell, and
Yep.
and they may potentially set the market price. So Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't throw a whole pile of money into accessories and personalization. Like I would definitely not do a really
I
expensive
disagree because
coating.
if yeah, I wouldn't do a coating, but buy all the accessories you want because if they come out with an AR, straight pull AR, or bolt action AR for us to put all our parts on, you've got the
Yeah,
parts.
you know what? That LPC, I'm totally. I've got the AR that if this goes through, I'm stripping it clean. That lower gets brought in and nothing else. And because the interesting thing about that LPC, think of the buffer tube and the rifle. Now it's a bolt action. How long does your barrel need to be? 14.5 or so should be fine. You'll hit OL no problem. So you could run a 14.5, 16-inch barrel, whatever, and it'll be legal as a bolt action rifle. So I've got a nice 16-inch barrel, nice fore-end, nice trigger, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'd slap it on one of those things.
Okay.
Some of the other guys I was talking to for some of the Milsurp stuff, they would take the deactivation route, and they would
Really?
if you really like your SVT 40 or something like that, and you don't want to have it chopped up in the government's hands, you deactivate and turn it into a wall hanger.
That's pretty brilliant, but you know, unless like I said, if I couldn't get them into the States, well, can you get the Russian stuff in? Like I know you can't get a Chinese
maybe
SKS, but there's the thing about Tokarevs now. Tokarevs have to have a safety installed on them because they were made after such a year or whatever. There's some funny federal rules about some of that stuff. So, yeah, maybe you can't get your SVT and maybe you can't get your SKS.
Well, a lot of this stuff, the cost doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense importing an SKS into the U.S. for the import-export fees and then bringing it back out. It's not going to be worth it.
Yeah, but some
an
people
SKS
still
is
do
worth
it
3
just
times the money
because-
down there.
Yeah.
True.
And like Kelly said, some people will just do it because it's theirs.
Yeah. What other options? Not complying. I guess that's another option. At least for these non-restricted firearms, they don't know where they are. And since this law isn't in place yet, we are not discussing breaking the law because there is no law right now. So storing in PVC is an option. Because you can, that's a legal way, as long as you're locked correctly, that's a legal way of storing your firearm. You could store it in PVC and forget about it. I guess that's an option.
Can't find any PVC anymore.
Right.
Or Cosmoline.
Cosmoline, I believe. PVC, I'm willing to bet Home Hardware and Home Depot have got a bit of it.
All right. We can go back to the old what they did during the Revolutionary War, where they plowed their fields and then they buried their guns. That's
not safe. That's not safe storage, Kelly. Stop it.
In PVC.
Still not safe.
Trigger
storage.
locked too.
Yeah.
So is there a thing about you're allowed to store your gun under the earth outside?
I don't know.
As long as it's
I don't
trigger
know.
locked?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's got to be in your home.
You think so? Nah. What about
I think
your car?
So bury it under your home.
Under your home. There you go.
You're allowed to store it in your car. It says so right in the storage regulations.
Yeah.
It's described how you're supposed to do
but
it.
not in a wheat field. Wheat field is not explicitly named out.
Correct. So soybean field probably not either. Canola, no.
They don't like those crops. Anyways, I think it's going to be like in the 90s where a lot of people will put them in the rafters or whatever. We'll have some house fires and people will get charged afterwards because they found a Mini 14 or whatever smoldering in the wreckage, and someone will get like a criminal charge because of it.
It was there when I bought the house, I guess.
It's fantastic. As long as you haven't owned the house for like 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah, the gun was manufactured after you bought the house. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's like the rule for natives, right? Natives don't have to have a license to own anything that was on the reserve prior to 1995. So if they get stopped in the woods with a brand new Tika, that might not work.
Cool. Any other options you guys are thinking of?
No, anything on Reddit anything, because, Reddit, people tend to think outside the box.
That deactivation one is not one I thought about. And someone was like, "I got this old gun. I
Really?
don't want to Can I just chop it? Like, what's the deal with deactivation?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, interesting."
So the deal with deactivation is you have to bring it to a gunsmith who has been certified by the RCMP lab in Ontario to deactivate firearms. They have to deactivate a couple and send them into the lab for inspection, and the lab determines if your work is up to their standard of deactivation, because the standards have changed over the years. Denis can legally deactivate a firearm for you, and you will receive the letter saying that it is now classified as deactivated. So it's a service that DC Armory offers. FYI, just putting that out there. You don't deactivate it yourself. You need a gunsmith who has been certified to deactivate guns to do it for you.
You know what other thing I was thinking about for deactivation? Specifically for ARs.
What?
Sell the AR lower back to the Gov. Put an airsoft lower on that thing, hang it on the wall. If you want to do a wall hanger, because you can get
It's not a
It's not a gun.
It's not a
It's
gun
an
anymore.
airsoft thing or something, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, you could use airsoft parts to complete a deactivated non-gun, and still have all the parts.
Great idea. What a great
Did
idea.
any of you? So I filled out this survey for the
I'm
CMA,
not a doctor.
and in there they were talking about making recommendations with respect to airsoft as well. Did any of you fill that out?
Airsoft? Why?
Don't you know what you're talking
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they're talking about making recommendations for
There
fire.
are airsoft guns listed on the FRT, kids.
Are
Yeah,
they?
I know.
Why?
That's what I
Yep.
told them as well.
Why?
Because I don't know, they look like firearms.
They
or
all
something.
look like
And-
firearms. Some of them are clear.
Yeah,
some of them are like
Oh, maybe it has to do with the feet per second.
Yes, it
for
does.
airsoft though. They're plastic.
So
PDs.
they wanted to make
It doesn't
anything
matter.
that
It says
breaks
launches a projectile.
the skin or can injure an eye, make it a firearm, and ban it,
Wow.
including airsoft.
They can't. Kelly, you didn't even take the tag off your new hat. You just put on your head and.
Yeah, absolutely. I took the tag off my armpit though.
That's
Very
that's
classy.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting in the effort.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we killed the
Okay.
video.
Listener feedback, YouTube. Have you guys been watching the YouTubes? Anything there? Dan was saying that a friend of his
Not-
demolished a house and found 2 guns when he was demolishing. It is a thing.
Oh, I hope they survived.
It is a thing.
Of course, it's a
Yep.
thing.
Donate guns to a gang of liberal writing and what? So they're saying that the best Reddit plan I read was to donate all the guns to a gang in a liberal Toronto. No, that's not the best plan.
Oh,
Class
Matt.
warfare.
Matt.
Matt.
It's
dark.
our plan.
It's very
Matt.
dark.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it's best plan.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm not going to read the rest of it. Okay.
All right, well,
No.
let's get into the regular then.
Regular
Oh.
listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca, and check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Trevor, do you want to take this first one from Spencer?
Of course not, man.
I was going to say
But
no.
please take it.
Kelly does,
Take
though.
it.
No.
Okay. Hey, guys. It's been a while since I had a chance to write, but I got a new toy for Thanksgiving and I want to share. It's one of the Brownells retro series. In this case, it's the BRN-10, which is modeled after the very first contract AR-10s ever delivered to Cuba, no less.
Ooh.
Ian, the gun Jesus, did a nice walkthrough on this gun in the Forgotten Weapons episode, so I won't reinvent the wheel there. I've only gotten out to the range with it once, but it's a lot of fun to shoot, and it definitely catches people's eye. I'm glad I watched the video before I went because I ended up repeating the info in it 2 or 3 times to different groups of folks who asked about it. About the only thing I don't really like is the furniture. According to Ian's video, it's all correct in shape, but the material is just a plastic versus the more fiberglass-like stuff they used back in the day. I guess the material was garbage and almost always cracked. However, this plastic stuff looks and feels very different. To be honest, kind of cheap. Not as cheap as the Bakelite was. It was like 1950s plastic technology, and it did not age well and was bitter. I'll probably look at doing some faux coloring on it, so at least it looks like the paper and resin parts of the originals. Just a couple of other points I jotted down over the past few weeks. First, for the sake of all that's holy, please get Dave some decent audio equipment. He sounds like he's recording in his bathtub. Yeah, he's using a desktop mic, not a headset.
He just needs to get an arm so it like goes right up to his face because it's sensitive, right?
Right, and then there's the times where he beats on his keyboard, without muting. There's that too.
Did you lose your mind last week, by the way? Hearing that?
Oh, while listening, yeah. I didn't hear it while recording, but while listening, yeah. So you could tell I lose my mind because I sent a message to our group conversation in which I lost my mind. So that's a ridiculous question. Second, if you are serious about black powder guns, we're not, but thanks for asking, you need to check out Dixie Gunworks, and he gave us the link, dixiegunworks.com. They have one of the most complete catalogs you can imagine, and they definitely will ship out of the they definitely will ship out of the U.S. Last but not least, you guys mentioned the Gun Dudes an episode or so back. I don't know if you heard, Carl and Stan came back for a while as the SX3 podcast. Yes, we heard that, and now they're the Taco
with some
Gun.
Women.
Yep. Well, the SX3 podcast wasn't a podcast; it was a commercial for her shop.
Oh.
And now they're back with the tactical taco, concealed taco or something. Anyway,
it's down in the email. Keep reading.
Yeah, I will if you'd shut up. I'm trying, but I can't read when you speak to me. With some woman who ran a gun shop around them. That seems to have folded, but Carl and Stan started a new podcast with Jason Christensen, Concealment Solution Holsters, and another local guy, Mike, who does a bunch of casting and reloading and has a YouTube channel called Full Lead Taco. They are all part of the new podcast, not kidding here, Concealed Taco Dudes. Yeah, no, stupid name. I love these guys. I love them. I don't like the name of their new podcast. They're about 20 or 30 episodes in. That's all for now. Take care. Spencer the Whale from Smyrna.
You should review the new Glock. Just saying.
He will. He will. He's an FN fanboy. He likes his FN FNS pistols too. Yeah.
But yes. All right, Kelly, did you want to take this
Spencer.
one from Ty?
Hi, y'all. Love the podcast. Looking to get your thoughts on CD and Gunworks out of Oshawa, Ontario, and shed some light on my poor experience with them. I had my MDI SLR receiver sent to them since December 2018 and got the runaround for nearly a year on a premium build kit and Cerakote that I had paid upfront in full. I called monthly, and it seemed every month they had a different supplier to blame for why it hadn't been finished or even started. So October 2019, I requested to have it returned in whatever state it was currently in, and I received it with just a basic lower parts kit installed, a bent Chinese knockoff Raptor charging handle, and a 223 Maple Ridge Armory barrel and handguard, no Cerakote, no coated BCG, no glass block, etc., not to mention a thick layer of what looked like carbon or dust buildup. After getting frustrated with the whole situation, I posted my story on Instagram, and people from the firearms community started reaching out to me with similar stories, or asking if I could help, or asking if they could help in any way, including Trevor from your podcast and Ryan from Maple Ridge Armories. I ended up sending my receiver and parts with Maple Ridge Armories out to Barrie, Ontario. By the way, they opened up a storefront, just letting everybody know. Who went over their way.
As a warning, you mean? Like...
No, they opened up a storefront, so everybody go there.
Oh, Maple Ridge. Yeah.
Maple Ridge Armories in Barrie opened up a storefront.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
So they went out of their way there to finish my build and assist me in getting all the remaining parts I needed. Great company and amazing customer service. So all in all, I have chalked up my entire experience with CDN Gunworks as an experienced life lesson. As I'm not
Expensive life lesson.
Sorry, yes, an expensive. Thank you, expensive life lesson. As I'm not sure a lot of other people who are out.
No, there's no not there, as I'm sure a lot of people.
Okay, do you want to read this?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of other people who are out money, time, and products will end up doing.
He's out money? Like, why is he out money? He paid up front for a service he didn't receive.
Exactly.
And it's probably
sorry we couldn't get this done. Here's your money back, sir.
It's probably too late to do a chargeback on a credit card as well.
There's money back, though.
Nope. It's not
When
too
you
late
pay
for
for
that.
something up front and don't deliver, if you don't deliver the product, you return the money, or, I'm sorry, isn't that theft? Like, even if you have some ridiculous return policy, like, we're keeping your money no matter what. Well, that's okay, fine. That's fine if that's your policy. You're greasy. When the SLR first came out, these guys jumped all over it and were like, we're selling SLR lower parts kits. Really? An AR parts kit's less a couple of pins. That's all we need here, kids. But they were packaging parts and selling them as SLR parts kits.
Well, no, I thought
was
like they were selling full SLR pre-builds, right?
I'm not getting that. Don't get ahead of me there. This is a progression. This was like before anyone had their SLRs. SLRs were just a thing that we had talked about on Slamfire and Calgary Shooting Center promoted. Like, no one even had them yet when they were selling these lower parts kits. So we're months and months away from them selling builds. So I go on the SLR Builders Facebook page and I'm like, who makes the parts in your parts kit? And they reply, oh, we do. Oh, you're manufacturing AR-15 hammers and triggers now. I didn't know that. I don't think you are. Who makes them? Well, we do. No, you're packaging them. Who makes them? And I ended up having my post deleted. Rather than say, oh, these are Norinco parts, or these are like, I wanted to know, is your lower parts kit made up of DPMS parts, Norinco parts, Dale Defense parts? I want to know the quality of the parts that are in these kits.
Mm-hmm.
Who's making these parts? Oh, we are. No, but you're not. Just tell me who's making them. And they wouldn't, of course. And then they started to delete my posts. So I was like, yeah, screw you guys. And I was done with them then. And then it's been horror story after horror story ever since.
Yeah, what I've heard is people who had pre-ordered it was the Maccabees, right? Yeah, the Maccabees that weren't getting them, and the payments had been made and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So, I don't think it's a life lesson though. Just sue them. Just go to small claims court, take your stuff. Like, this is under $5,000, so in most places you can just take them to small claims court and say, these guys were supposed to do X amount of dollars of stuff to this, they didn't, and I want my money back. And that's what small claims is for.
You're not wrong. There you go.
Takes an afternoon.
Yep. What do you got to lose? You're not going to get any further behind.
Mm-hmm.
And just the thought that they have to take the time to go to court, it's not worth their time. They may come up with your cash.
Yeah, and then you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah. There you go. Take them to court.
Small claims. Small claims is not real court. It's like you roll in, you bring your paperwork and your case, and it's quick.
Yep.
Cool. All right, next one here is from Mike. Dear Slamfire, I hear Kelly has a Canuck case she wants to decorate. I have something to donate to the cause and was wondering if there was somewhere I can send it to. I hope not to weird you guys out and think I'm stalking you guys or something. Even if you guys devise a spy-like mail drop to get it there with impunity, I would like to get these to Kelly to artfully decorate the case. Anyway, keep up the mediocre amount of work you put in. I'm not sure how...
He gets us.
Yeah.
He gets us.
I'm not sure how to end this email. Run your gun, wet or dry, but be sure to run your gun. Years with insults. Mike from the southeast of the West.
I love it.
Okay, it's Nanook case, not Canuck case, but I'll send an email with my address. And
Don't
yeah,
do it. Don't give out your address to a listener. Don't do
I
it.
I-
You need a PO box.
I don't have a PO box.
Go get one. It involves walking. You got to adult. You got to do adult things. You got to go to adult places. You got to use adult language.
Well, listen.
Don't bring me, but go to the post office and say, "Yeah, I need a
Don't
PO
bring
box."
you. You're not an adult.
That's what. Jesus Christ! I don't have the crayons or the time for this shit.
You know, for the amount of risky packages you get, Trevor, you should have a PO box.
Yeah, but they all come from you, douchebag. But there's a wrapping paper out there that says this package contains a huge dildo, and Stephen Casey promised that he was going to send me an empty box.
God,
but
you know
wrapped
what?
in that wrapping
Dan
paper.
Grady's watching this. He's going to be sending you packages now.
Remember, Stephen is the one that sent me the bag of Richards, right?
Yeah. No,
And it-
you actually got them also from Dan Grady.
Oh, those the
Gummies.
the glitter ones or the gummy ones?
The gummies.
Did I get 2 bags of dicks?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I only remember Stevens. It must have been bigger. It hurt more because it was the first one.
I'll get you. Hey, you know what? I'll send you Trevor's address because I'll be going down there in the summer. No, just kidding.
There you go. Anything that comes here, I keep.
That's
No.
the safe drop house. It's Trevor's
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
That's where you
Safe
send all the risky stuff.
Yeah. My postal worker already hates me. Go for it.
Mike, thank you.
Sweet. If you'd like to email the show, send an email over to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Podcast app reviews, there are none, but if you guys would like to, head on over to iTunes or Stitcher or Podcaster or Podcatcher or Podbean or whatever pod thingy app you got and give it the 5 stars so that the people can find it and
Can you do
whatnot.
that on Spotify?
I
You can't
don't
do that
know.
on Spotify. You can't give reviews on
I
Spotify.
think
Really?
if
That's
you've got
dumb.
it connected to like a Google or an Amazon or something like that, you just yell at it to say give Slamfire 5 stars, and I'm pretty sure
Derry,
yeah,
give Slamfire 5 stars.
yeah, just do that. I'm sure that you just saying that will also work. Actually, since most people are probably listening to these, I wonder how many. Hey Alexa, give Slamfire 5 stars. Hey Google, give Slamfire 5 stars. There. Now, anyone listening to this, all their devices are just going nuts.
Amazing.
Was that evil? Was that evil?
Yes,
Oh, that was brilliant.
it was good.
How many of mine are
Way
just
to
going nuts right now?
stick it to the man. So I'm in Spotify looking at Slamfire, and I do not see a mechanism in place for reviews.
Hmm.
Ah.
So just listen to us on that silently, I guess.
Yes.
You could
Just give us a
email
thumbs up if you're listening.
Yeah, email us.
You could
and
email.
just with the thumb going
No,
up.
no more thumbs up.
No more
We get
thumbs up.
thumbs up and whale flippers and walrus
Oh
penises.
yeah, I remember that. No, don't do that. I hate
got
it. I hated
hard
adding
after a while.
those to the show notes.
Keeping track of everything.
Ugh, yeah, horrible. Shoutouts. Kelly?
I have a bunch. So I have to Brian Romich. He's the president of the Winnipeg Revolver and Pistol Club. I wanted to give a shout out to him because he sent me a whole bunch of stuff from his company, Tough Duck. So I got a toque, which I'm going to be wearing maybe on the next podcast. I got a trucker hat. I love this one. I got a new t-shirt, the Igloo one. But the duck is this t-shirt. He's sending me that one as well. But I'm really excited. I get to try all kinds of new clothes but Bren is fantastic. One of my favorite people ever. Christina Kyle from Coshocton, Ohio. She actually is somebody that I met at an Appleseed down there. She's also a rifleman. It was Christmas today, like 5 minutes before the show. I got the stuff from Bren, but in my mailbox, she sent me Wonder Woman stuff. Like I got bandanas. She also got them too because she's a Wonder Woman too. So I wanted to give a shout out to Christina Kyle from Coshocton and say thank you very, very much. I sent her a little message to say thank you. She's a really, really nice lady. She's also a rifle woman too. So I just wanted to say thank you to those guys. So thanks. And oh yeah, Tough Duck, go and buy some of their stuff because it's a Canadian company and they have some really quality stuff. So yeah, That's it
Very cool.
for me.
I wanted to give one to all the ROs that helped with our 3-gun season this year, because I put on this last match here in December, and everyone's like, "Oh, thank you, Adriel. Thank you, Adriel." I was like, I didn't do any more work than those ROs did. So thanks to those guys to helping pitch in and help us run a really great 3-gun season. Trevor, do you have any? It says you don't, so I should just move down.
We can remove
you're
forward because
very-
he didn't put anything in there. So
And that's a rule. You could have skipped me. I wouldn't have said boo. I would have just rolled with it. But he was considerate enough to ask just in case. And yes, my shout out is to the crew of volunteers at the Rescuers Gun Club who attended the after meeting, if you will, to discuss all of those things that we discussed and started to plan the nationals. My other shout out is to the IPSC community that is a little heartbroken that SummerSlam won't happen for the first time in 12 years, 13 years. We've had 13 years of SummerSlam plus 1 year off for nationals. So we're breaking a streak. I've said before that it was, how many other clubs can say that they've had 13 level 3 matches, but I've since learned that SummerSlam was not always a level 3. I don't know when it received level 3 sanctioning, but all 13 were not level 3. But regardless, there have been, I got in for 6, and 6 was a 3. So that's, it's been going a long time. And it's weird.
it's weird to not have one
It's weird to not have one.
and to know you're not having one.
Yeah.
Is it almost like okay, it's sad, but at the same time, is it kind of almost like a relief that you don't have
Huge
to...
relief, Kelly. Huge relief, because I can just focus on getting the range recertified. You and I have a trip to Newfoundland planned with some people. I can go there guilt-free. I won't have to go to Newfoundland thinking, oh, the boys are back home working. And they're still going to be working because we're still on the range recertification thing.
Recertification, yeah.
But it's not the added pressure of recertification plus SummerSlam, right? So, yeah.
Road trip!
Yeah.
Mhm.
By the way, you need to get on that whole thing about the Cabot Trail.
That's not in Newfoundland, right? That's actually in Cape Breton.
No, I'm talking about the Cape Breton, the off-grid, whatever.
We're going to Cape Breton, true?
We're going to the off-grid pub thing.
Are we going to that? It's called Ironworks. I didn't know we were going to that too. Okay, we're going. Whatever you say.
Get on it.
I'm in. I'll get on it. It's done. Done deal.
Kelly,
there.
you just need to say that there's some old pirate treasure near that.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll get all the motivation you need to out of Trevor.
There's pirate treasure.
Hey,
You'll be able
maybe.
to pull
And
a
a
sword
Roman
out of
sword,
the
yeah.
stone.
Hey, maybe I canceled SummerSlam because I know something you guys don't.
Oh, maybe.
It's like,
Maybe I can't be in 2 places at once.
and that includes Newfoundland.
Are you going to be on TV?
What?
Okay. Maybe like Discovery
No,
or
it's
something
in
like
prison.
that. History.
I'm totally
History Channel.
joshing. I was offered a spot in the fall, but obviously I couldn't go because I was at work, and I did tell the guy, talk to me in June. If there's a spot in June, I'll go. But
No, he's supposed to talk to you in May. So for June.
yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
But I can't. I can't. I mean, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Oh, I would.
It's once in a lifetime.
I know, but I got other commitments to other people and stuff. Well, my childhood dreams don't matter, Kelly.
And stuff. Yes, they do.
Oh, the gun community matters. That's where I belong.
Your gun community doesn't matter for us.
I will forget all you bitches' names so fast. It's like I never knew any of you fools. I will leave you all behind in a wake of laughter
Yeah, that's okay.
And pirate treasure.
and pirate
Yeah.
treasure. It wasn't pirates,
Called
by the way,
booty.
but
It's not called treasure.
Pirates
It's called booty.
Booty. Yes, thank you, Kelly. I need to
no, I
learn
like
these
me some
technical
pirate
terms.
booty, but
All right.
Yeah.
Patreons, if you'd like to help us put on the show, head on over to patreon.com/slamfireradio
so overdue.
for a Patreon episode.
Yes,
We'll
we
just
missed November
Find
altogether.
someone in the comments section there and just be like, yo. It's your
I'm
turn.
going to give up asking. I don't think the model of inviting a Patreon I think that model has not been successful. I think it's time to find a new model for Patreon.
Yeah.
I think we have to get like a big ticket guest, a major player in the firearms community, somebody like way cooler than we are, that will make people want to subscribe. So
Keanu Reeves.
That amazing. Yes, Kelly. Keanu Reeves. And we're going to do it from your house.
Okay.
There you go. So, all right, I got to pack and shit. I got to go to Nova Scotia after work tomorrow. It's 10 o'clock. It's way past my bedtime. I'm cranky and my back hurts. And...
Okay. Yeah, so sign up for Patreon so that you can hear Trevor talk about how his back hurts. Finally, if you're going to go buy something from Cabela's anyways, go through our website and click that thing and then buy it online and we'll get a cut of it. Please join our
piece of the action.
A piece of the action. Cabela's like slips us a crisp $5 bill on the side. They're like, you keep the change. Thanks for that, Slamfire. Join a firearms association such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We have a thread over there where we post stuff. Like us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. We are up to 2,283 likes. We're up 55 likes this week.
Right, and I got the likes and the followers straight this time, Kelly. I looked at it no less than 3 times. Am I picking the followers or am I picking the likes? Okay, it's this many people like your page, this many people follow your page. Why do we need both?
I'm going to go look.
Because they used to be the same thing.
You insolent, premenopausal, mid-century co-host.
Really?
Yeah, all right. I went.
Okay, Adriel, hang up because people don't want to hear.
Like us on Facebook, and I don't know, take some people shooting and enjoy your firearms that may or may not get banned.
And also look into the legal exportation of your property to America.
America.
And get American friends.
Not Vermont though.
Not Vermont. Live free or die? Why not Vermont?
Wait, what was the other one? Virginia.
It was Virginia. That was the Second Amendment state. Come and take our guns out of our dead cold hands, they said. We are at 2,283 likes.
How much is
I put in the show notes? Thanks for checking, Mom.
How much is the homeless children one up to?
Still like 14,000.
Oh my God. We gotta
get there.
On it.
Pick something lower.
You know who's not liking the page? The homeless kids. You ever seen a homeless kid with an iPhone? No. So who's liking these pages?
They all got.
They go to the library.
This is bots.
And they use the computers there.
Yeah. This is bots. Bots from China, where you can also adopt children.
Okay, so we need to pick something a lower, hanging fruit.
Didn't we beat a library once?
Yeah, libraries are so last year.
Dan says we got to do a wish list for Christmas for next week.
Well, you're right. Next week is the Christmas episode. Yes. Email us your Christmas wish list. A realistic item and the world is my oyster item. There are no laws. I can have a
unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that. All right. See everyone next week.